Welcome to the Bible Reading Journey, where we are traveling from Genesis to Revelation. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're just joining us, welcome to the journey. And just jump in where we are because it's never too late to start. Lighthouse Ministry is happy to be traveling this road with you. Today we are on day number 154 of the Bible Reading Journey, and today's reading itinerary is the book of Psalms, chapters 13 through 18. You might want to pause here and first dive into today's reading for yourself. Then join us back here for thoughts about today's journey. Today's journey is titled No Fooling. So in your text notes, there's an outline of the book of Psalms to guide us on our journey. We are on section 1C of the outline today. Well, by now, you have probably noticed that reading the Psalms is a little different than what we have read so far in our journey. Unlike what we have been reading prior to the Psalms, this book does not tell a history or a story of events and people. Instead, the Psalms are a collection of songs and prayers. The Psalms contain expressions of emotion, ranging from fear and grief to joy and delight. The Psalms contain petitions to God. And overarching all of that is praise to God, acknowledging His greatness and affirming His character and His promises. The first chapter we read today was Psalm 13, and it's a great example of all of that in just 6 verses. So if you flip to Psalm 13, or if you still have it open, verses 1 and 2, relinquish emotions of anxiety and anguish. Then verses 3 and 4 request God to respond and restore. And then verses 5 and 6 rejoice in God's rescue and goodness. So we have a pattern that laid out here that we see throughout this book of Psalms. Relinquish, request, rejoice. Relinquish means fall at His feet. Give Him your worries and concerns. Request, surrender all of that to God through prayer and petition. And most importantly, rejoice. Sing and speak praise to God for His actions and His attributes. Why the title today? No Fooling. Well, Psalm 14, one of our chapters today, starts with the verse, "Only fools say in their hearts, there is no God." The chapter is focused on unbelievers. And then in contrast, the next chapter, chapter 15, focuses on the fruit of believers. No one should want to be a fool. No one should want to turn away from God, rejecting even His existence. But they are, and they do. Let us not be fooled. No fooling you. The thought of the day: the root problem of unbelief is pride. The challenge of the day continues that thought. If one does not recognize their need for God, both because of their sinfulness and His forgiveness, then God becomes irrelevant to them. When speaking about your faith, there is a place and time for intellectual debates, but always the right time for a moral response. As the Daily Walk Bible puts it, rather than try to prove God's existence, focus instead on forgiveness in Jesus Christ. You may not have all the answers, but you can be sure you have the answer to the need of every heart, Jesus Christ. And finally, our memory verse of the day comes from our reading, Psalm 18, verse 28, and this is the ESV translation. For it is you who lights my lamp. The Lord my God lightens my darkness. The text notes contain information on how to find us on YouTube, Facebook, and email. Happy travels today. See you next time. This is Lisa at Lighthouse. God bless.